This is a $92,000 scholarship, and I want your children to have it. There are 5 things that turn a normal homeschool experience into a scholarship-making machine, and doing them could gain your child admission to choice colleges, supplement their education with scholarships, and even outright pay for it so they can graduate debt-free. Many of our clients have won $100,000 in scholarships using this strategy, with hundreds more getting scholarships in general. I'm going to show you how to do this, and you don't need to know the college dean, drop fortunes on tutors, or have a genius kid for this to work. So in this video, I'm going to show you what big winning families are doing that you need to do too, what they don't do that most homeschoolers waste their time on, and the vital process that actually gets scholarship numbers going up. So many families fall shy of this, like they don't think a heavily discounted or debt-free graduation is worth the effort. This brings me to step 1. Most children can walk independently by about 12 to 15 months. But you didn't wait until month 11 to teach them, did you? Even if your children are already in high school, this information still applies to you. But in case you have some younger kids, I want you to know this. If you wait until your child is college age to look for scholarships, you are missing out on so many opportunities. This step has a few moving parts, so pause and write down what you need to. First, keep the curriculum rigorous. As a homeschool parent, you don't want to make your children hate learning, but you don't want it to become too easy either. Keep your children challenged without exhausting them, and feel free to swap curriculum mid-year if it's too easy or too hard. Second, make test preparation part of your day-to-day curriculum. Even just 10 minutes a day gives your children an overwhelmingly sharp edge when it comes to the SAT and the ACT. If they're in high school, these tests are a must, but they can actually take the PSAT as early as 8th grade. Academic excellence early, remember? Real talk, I've seen parents add test preparation into their children's curriculum in 6th grade. So they've actually been practicing for 2 full years before they ever take the PSAT. Do you think those kids paid for college? You really want to maximize test scores so that they can compete for those automatic merit scholarships. They're some of the biggest. Third, often children are naturally better at one standardized test than another. Give your student practice from both the SAT and the ACT without studying first. If they do better on one, make that the test that they prepare for. Why not start off with the one that is naturally easier for them? Like I said, automatic merit scholarships are some of the biggest, and they're earned from taking these tests. Colleges get really competitive over high scores, and they show their love by offering your student those high scholarships to choose them over the other schools. Take every opportunity to give your child that big step up. I have a free score comparison chart in the description so you can see which test your student naturally scores better on. Now you know the road you want to be on, so let's put up the guardrails with what families waste their time doing. If you didn't know, I'm Alex the Homescholar, and I serve thousands of homeschool families all across the globe. Here's the #1 mistake I've seen across homeschooling. Imagine if just walking through a door could guarantee your child scholarships. I see some parents doing the equivalent of spilling Legos throughout the hall, knocking holes in the floor, and turning the lights out as if they want obstacles in front of the door. Thousands of families choose to be disorganized. They choose not to put papers away and not date the homework because they think they'll remember. Can you remember what you had for dinner 2 weeks ago? You want to keep homeschool records documented and organized because those documents get your child in, and they can win scholarships all by themselves. So, how do you take action on this? You're going to keep track of what your child did, when they did it, and how many hours they did it for. That alone should save you a lot of headaches and kickstart your transcript. And finally, make sure your records have a home, a dedicated drawer, a cabinet, a binder, a folder on your device. Later, when your children apply for college, you'll have everything you need to make your transcript, course descriptions, and your documentation all in one place. Meanwhile, unorganized parents are frantically emailing me on Sunday night that their kid needs a transcript within hours or they won't get into college. This is all good and helpful for you, but colleges don't let you in just for being organized. So let's focus on what makes a magnetic pull between your child and the colleges. Imagine 2 applications are turned into a college that's only accepting 1 more student. The first application shows the student did biology, chemistry, and some other biology-related classes throughout high school. While the second applicant did the exact same classes, he also volunteered as a student naturalist at a local nature center. Then junior year, he became the environmental club president, and then senior year, he started an environmental blog with over 200 active readers. You see how different that is, don't you? Though both students have the exact same classes, it's the interests of the second applicant that make them far more likely to be accepted. I've even seen personal interests on the transcript do better than the student who took AP classes. Experience and action are big winners, which is why you want to leverage your teen's interests. As a parent, you have to be creative to help their skills flourish and be favorable. If your child is just really in love with something, find a community, take part in competitions, and start those YouTube channels. Children who like video games can enter competitions and train with other kids, just like children who love sports or chess or dance. But it's all about making sure they're actually exercising their hobby. If you do, it'll set them apart from that ocean of applicants. If you don't, you're not going to get the explosive results that I want for you. I'm trying to help your student get out of college debt-free. No tight budgets, no skipping takeout with friends, and no pause on life because of monthly payments. So here's how you can win actual scholarships, which helps both you and your child's enthusiasm. By the way, if this is what you're ready for, then make a micro commitment by hitting like, comment, or subscribe so I know you're with it. It's time to do some serious research. Whichever of your children is closest to college age, I want you to write down their biggest interests and motivators. If that's chess, baseball, mathematics, programming, or dance, it doesn't matter. Make that interest a header with space underneath to write. Now take 30 minutes. In that space, you're going to write down every possible scholarship opportunity related to that interest you can find using Google. I want you to completely exhaust this list. Find a dozen or more scholarship opportunities per interest. When your 30 minutes is up or it feels like Google isn't providing results anymore, it's time to move on to forums to find scholarships. Places like Facebook groups where people are engaged with the topic. There, you can ask for help finding scholarship opportunities from people who have likely used it. The awesome thing about a Facebook group is that after you've commented your questions and queries, you can leave it overnight and still come back to answers. It's a passive way to gain information. And if you see a scholarship opportunity that feels small, do not pass it by. Even winning a $500 scholarship will massively boost your child's motivation and make it easier for you to continue. Here are 3 tips you didn't know that will help. Number 1, understand that scholarship money is often first come, first served. Apply early. You want to be first in line for those big checks. But even if you're late, apply anyway. It can't hurt. Number 2, did your child volunteer or work for a company they liked? Secure compelling letters of recommendation from people outside the family who can speak to their abilities and their work ethic. Number 3, have your student write excellent, self-reflective application essays that reveal their character and their aspirations. These essays help the admissions officers get to know them and gauge if they're going to be a good fit for the school. If your teen spends 10 hours on an essay and won a $500 scholarship, celebrate. That is $50 an hour and well worth your time. The most successful scholarship winners treat the process like clipping college coupons. They collect all the small advantages that, when combined, create a very large college discount, sometimes even making it free. Let's refresh. You know the road you need to be on. We put up those guardrails. And how to get going on that road. But there's one problem. If you're not in the right mindset, it doesn't matter how much you know, you won't be motivated properly. I've seen parents follow every single thing in this video and still lose because there's a critical problem that's so detrimental it stops any of this from working. So to help with that, I've made this video to address the issue so you can gear up for scholarships properly.